are you, Ned?
Yeah, good, thanks, Lou.
Real name, Ned?
No, real name, no, not Ned. But we'll call it Ned. It's Stephen.
Stephen, Ned
Stephen with a
Kelly.
V. Stephen with a V, yeah, that's
And
right.
obviously you got the nickname. Where'd you get the nickname from?
This is a very good question. I think it's not hard to work out.
Good on you. Now, Ned, what position did you start on the big day?
On the big day, I started on the bench.
On the bench,
with
and-
Michael Lamont sitting on the Jarrah, I think, and yeah, but fortunately, I think Michael went on 5 minutes into the first quarter.
And yourself, when did you get a shot?
Well, I think, and I feel sorry saying this, but Cheeky was pulled about 15 minutes in, and I went on to replace Cheeky, who, went on to win 6 or 7 best and fairest. So,
So he wasn't a bad player.
so he's a bad player, but yeah, I replaced him, and I think. And
How'd you go? What's your self-rating on the day once you got on?
Lou, it's so long ago. It's hard to remember the detail, but I distinctly remember Grant Taylor breaking free on the eastern wing between half-back and wing. Drop punt, hit me right in front of the eyes. I was on my own. I don't know why, whether they just thought I wasn't worth standing. Like I said, this is all hazy, Lou, but
Sure.
I turned around. I think on my second bounce I settled, and I kicked a goal from 35.
Beautiful.
And we were 3 goals down at the time before half-time. Very hazy, Lou. It's very, very hard to remember all this.
All good, Ned. Now, how old were you back then? In
20.
20 years old?
Yeah, just 20 years
So you
of age.
just hit the big 6-0.
Yeah, and when I see some of the pictures, I can't believe how little I look.
Yeah.
Because you might have noticed I've matured now. And yeah.
Now, Ned, you're fairly upbeat about your own ability and wore the white boots with pride. Have you got any? Did you take any learnings from Coach Burns?
Well, a lot of people don't know. There's a story, and unfortunately only 2 people could confirm this, and it's Bob Kameen and Chook Fowles. It's a bit hard to get them confirmation because they've left us and hopefully up there in the big footy stadium in the sky. But yeah, there was an incident halfway through the year where Burnsy, he'd lost, it was only his first year, of course, taking us on, the youngsters, and our local, sort of felt fairly local. We had our lovely imports, Walshy and Scoffer, and it was a good environment. But Bob Kameen came to me and said, Burnsy's message isn't quite getting through about 6 weeks in, and we need an incident, maybe a train to fire him up. And I said, well, why would you come to me? And they said, I think you're the one to do it. And Chook said, definitely you're the one to do it, Stephen. So the boys will probably remember a tantrum one night I threw. Called him up and said, let's sort it out here and now. And Burnsy said, you better go and cool off in the change rooms. I walked off the oval. Chook Fowles winked at me. And from that time on, I think Burnsy was as sharp as a tack. and the results, well, speak for themselves.
You can take a bit of credit for that.
Yeah, and I've never told that to anyone, and I don't like doing it now, but like I said, unfortunately, only Bob and Chook could confirm that.
Beautiful, mate. How many games do you reckon you played for 2 Wells?
Oh, that's a hard one, but I had 1 year off, played my last game under your tuition and your coaching, Lou, and I feel very sad I might have let you down because I did play that grand final. I think I pinged a little bit of a hammy.
Yeah.
The last kick of the night on training.
Yeah, thanks for reminding me.
Yeah, and we went down to Port Wakefield by 2 or 3 points.
Yeah. How many?
I think it may be
premierships?
maybe 180 or 200.
How many premierships now?
No, just the one,
Just
the one A grade premiership, and I'm sort of glad in the world. I'm really happy with that because it keeps special. It's special.
Any last messages for your fans out there, Ned? Have you still
No,
got the
no
white
fans.
boots for-
No, they've. I think they'll probably get them on Gumtree now. No, I do just remember the day how I was in awe of playing with legends like yourself, Sharpie. It was unbelievable in the last quarter. I had my fingers crossed. He kicked a couple of crunch goals, and we got over the line. And I do remember that. And I also remember I was lucky enough to get a couple of goals before half time. Both of them were given by Grant Taylor, and I also was tennis mates. We played doubles together in tennis during the summer, Grant, so I have great memories of GT, and some of our after a singles we'd wander up to one of the pubs in Gawler and we'd just go for a quick one, and then Diane or Kay would come up and said, you boys are on in the doubles, get back down there. And I have so many good memories with Grant, and I am grateful that I got to play with him and all of you guys.
Thanks, Ned. You've been a champ. Good luck.
Cheers.